Hello everyone and welcome back to Bobbin's Minecraft Let's Play series featuring the FTB Infinity Evolve Skyblock mod pack. You're watching episode 19 and we're about to achieve here because I've gotten some stuff done. I'm here on the farm platform. There's a little room ahead of me with some blackout curtains that has been set up to grow mushrooms. Sorry if you can't see that. Maybe I shouldn't have walked in there, but it's very dark. It's intended to be dark because to grow mushrooms or netherwart, you have to actually have a dark space. Alright, well, the achievement that I was just mentioning is I'm ready to make a watering can because I've gotten lots of different seeds here that I've bred, and I've sort of specifically been aiming towards the watering can. I just haven't been very diligent about it and actually getting it done. But I have gotten all the way now, so let me get the appropriate seeds. I'm going to need corn, and then over here out of the waste bucket, I'll take beet, and the other one I need I think is kiwi. And to make the watering can, a little bone meal on top, bowl in the middle, steel in this pattern, and I think the seeds are something like this. Yes, beet in this corner, corn in this one, and kiwi in this one. That gets us an empty watering can and an achievement. So let me go put this down over here. So, nice line of 5 achievements there, but we're not going to stop there because I have another achievement ready to go, and that is I've made this enhanced Galgadorian metal and enriched Cenarium alloy, and I'm ready to make the Certus Quartz wrench, which is sort of the opening up of applied energistics. There are some other things I'm going to have to do first. I think it's a very long process to actually get the purified crystals at this point that I will eventually need in order to make some of the other stuff. And between episodes, I will go ahead and get started on some of the basics for applied energistics. I probably won't be starting it just immediately with like the very next episode. That's probably not going to happen, but I do at least have the wrench here so that I can make some of the machines. Let me just go ahead and put that someplace reasonably safe for a while because I'm not going to use it right now. So 2 achievements today. It's the first time I've had 2 achievements, and it'll probably be the last time unless I get 2 achievements for finishing the very last one at the end of the series. I don't know if I'm actually going to complete all of them, but I might. We'll see just how much longer we keep going here. Okay, so the actual agenda for today is not specifically just about achievements. I want to make some more progress on witchery, and I want to open up blood magic. And to do that, the thing that I'm really missing is altars. And in the previous episode, I actually got my saplings for alder, hawthorn, and rowan, and now I've had some time to grow some saplings and to bake some of the saplings in the oven to get the appropriate fumes, and I've gotten some of the wood, so I'm ready to go ahead and get started on making altars. And if we look at the altars, for witchery, I'm going to have 6 of these altar blocks, which means that since each one gives 2, I'm going to have to repeat this recipe 3 times. But if we look at blood magic, the blood altar also requires 2 sets of those altars, so I'm going to have to make 5 of them. So I'm going to need 5 exhale of the horned one, 5 breath of the goddess, and 10 rowan wood. And let's see, exhale of the horned one, and breath of the goddess. Let's put this over here. Now I'm also going to need 5 water bottles and 20 stone bricks, which I already have here because I did a little advanced preparation. So let's go ahead and, that's not working for some reason. Oh, well, no. Oh, I put hint of rebirth. I always get those mixed up for some reason. Could be that they both have a picture of a tree. Alright. And... Alright, so let's go ahead and build the altar. When the altar is complete, you basically put 6 of them down in this pattern. When it's complete, it gets covered with a red cloth, just like that. And it says with what I've got constructed around here, it goes to 2832 power with no enhancements on it. What it's drawing power from is all the wood and the leaves and the vines and the Spanish moss, and then it's also drawing power from a lot of this stuff down in the basement. Now, I have not expanded the range yet. Expanding the range, I think, is done with the chalice. I'm going to have to make some items to put on the altar. And one of those is a chalice, and another one is a candelabra. And so I'll have to make some of those. One of the other things I can put on it, let me make a quick trip over to the nether here. Because one of the things I'd like to put on it is a wither skeleton skull. You can put a regular skeleton skull, but you get twice as much benefit from a wither skeleton one. And since I do have the necessary items, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright. So we'll put that right there. And now it says we can get up to 8496 here, so that's quite a bit more power. That's a pretty good power level for just having placed the altar. I don't recall what all the various items necessarily do, but there are some other things you can put on here. I know the candelabra and the chalice, and then later the chalice can be made into a filled chalice. Let's see what's involved with a chalice. To do a chalice, I need just gold and an attuned stone. I think I can do that. Let's come over here and get some gold. And to make an attuned stone, I'm going to need, and I might as well just go ahead and make several of them. It looks like I probably don't have a convenient way of transporting lava at the moment, so I might have to fly down here again. I'm going to need 2 of them because one of them is also necessary for the altar. But I'll just make a chalice here. And then the other item I need here for it is hint of magic, or whiff of magic. Alright, so there's one attuned stone, and there's a second one. So I've got 2 of them there. Let's see if I remember how that was supposed to work out. Was it that? No. It was that. Good. So we've got a chalice, and I'll just stick that over here. Now we've got over 11,000 power on the altar. So we're doing really good on altar power. So the other altar that I want to make is the blood magic altar. And that is 4 of these, an alchemical furnace, a living rock slab, a couple of mana steel ingots, and an attuned stone. And I happen to have all those other items in here. Just happened to occur. Well, not really. And so now we've got our blood altar. And the blood altar goes down here, where I already have a nice spot set up for it. Bam. Alright. So in order to do anything with the blood altar, we've got to get blood in it. And initially that's going to start with doing a little self-sacrificing. So we need to make a sacrificial orb. And I'm over here because I have to know what's involved in that. So if we look at this, it is a mana pearl with blood. And I have some blood in the smeltery. The way that I got the blood in the smeltery, ultimately it comes from killing mobs or animals or even players, including yourself potentially, in a smeltery. And you can actually, if you have your smeltery set up in such a way that mobs will spawn in it, then you may naturally get some. I have a light on top of mine to specifically prevent that from happening. Another way to do it is to actually set up a mob grinder like my manual kill one, for example, that just has all the mobs dropping into it. Then you have just a huge number of mobs going in there. I don't really want that sort of thing going on all the time. There's really not a whole lot of blood needed. What I did in order to get the blood in there was, I guess I don't, oh, I know where I put it. I fired up this particular spawner here, and when it had some mobs here, I used a reusable safari net, which is made from 4 ender pearls and a gas tier, and I went and just picked up mobs one at a time and went and popped them in the smeltery. Different mobs give different amounts. The one that gave the most, probably gave almost half of this blood, maybe even more than half of it, was a witch. The witch just took forever to die, and once the witch finally died in there, I had quite a lot of blood. But you can just move mobs into it manually pretty easily if you just need small amounts of blood. Alright, so there's our sacrificial orb. And if I come over here, we can see how this works. So I can just, well, alright. So I just put in half of my health bar, basically, into here. I also put my pickaxe in there, which doesn't help me at all. If we take and put a, what is this thing, arcane stone block in there, this would just be regular stone in a normal mod pack, but in this mod pack it requires arcane stone. But I made my first blank slate here, and I'll have to make a bunch of those, which means that I will have to take a lot of damage. Probably between episodes I'm going to go ahead and set up a another mob grinder like setup above this thing to continuously drip down mobs, because eventually what we will want is, instead of using the sacrificial orb, we'll want to use the dagger of sacrifice. But in order to do that, I have to get the blood altar itself upgraded to tier 2 as indicated right here, and I'll have to have 2500 LP in it, which will not be any big challenge. And then I'll use an Arthana. You know, an Arthana is another thing that I can put on the altar up there in the witchery area, and I'll do that between episodes. So that's that's what we got to do to get started with blood magic, and I'm mostly going to do the blood magic stuff off screen because it involves a great deal of standing here, killing things, and making slates. And I guess I'll have to automate it at some point, but in the short term it won't be automated. I'll just do it manually. And that's just kind of a slow, boring process. Eventually, all of these things that are using the poison stone brick will get replaced with runes. And right now the altar is tier 1. When I replace this first level of them, that will take the altar up to tier 2. This level is tier 3, that one's tier 4, and so on all the way down. There are some additional requirements. Once you get up past tier 2, the glowstone is already in place here. These blocks are actually glowstone in the intended configuration, but all of these that have the creeper face on them are different types of blocks that you have to make, and they're relatively more difficult to craft. It gets progressively harder to upgrade your altar. In this particular mod pack, upgrading the altar also means advancing further in Thaumcraft and Botania and Witchery. It doesn't just mean progressing in blood magic like it would normally. So there will be quite a bit of stuff to do on that to get that all to work. So, what else has been going on between episodes here? Well, I did some more stuff with bees. I got some of this a little bit better automated with some logistics pipes back here. I have been doing a little bit more bee breeding. I have the ghastly bees going here making gas tears. That's how I got enough gas tears to do the Certus quartz wrench. The other material that I was a little short on for the Certus quartz wrench was actually slime balls. And the way that I got those was I've been growing some slime trees over here. The automated farm doesn't seem to handle these, the Mine Factory Reloaded one. So for the moment I've just sort of been manually doing it. I may come up with some different method of making slime balls that's fully automated later on. The way that you get the tree is you have to have some slime balls already. And I had them because I had made them using a barrel using the ex nihilo method. Let me just look that up. Yeah, if you have a barrel full of water and you put a bucket of milk in it, it makes slime balls. It doesn't always make 4 of them. It makes a variable number of them. If you can actually get more than 4 of them if what you do is you just let it sit there. If you let it sit there, then it will, instead of staying put and waiting for you to pull the slime balls out of it, it will just spawn a slime. And so you may get a large slime, and if you go in there and kill it, you'll end up with lots of slime balls. So that's really probably the best way to do it quickly using the barrel. Clearly, if it's being automated, you could do that too. You just need to have a cow set up that you're milking in order to get the milk, and you've got to deal with some timing issues and that sort of thing. But you could just go ahead and set up an automated grinder to grind slimes to do that. That's certainly a possibility. And it's possible I could do something like that to get slime balls. Other ways, distillery, probably not going to make slime balls that way, although that's not too bad. Shaped crafting, this is one way to make it that uses bee products. There's another way to make it using bee products, but that is one option. It involves industrious bees and anything that produces propolis. Harvest craft fishing, I think we can dispense with that one being an option. This is the other way to make it using bees. This actually takes quite a bit of bee breeding to produce the necessary bees, and is not really all that fast, but it is easy to automate if you have it, especially if you've already got bees automated. The way that I actually produced the saplings is you take these congealed slimes, which is just 4 slime balls in a block pattern like that, and I sifted them through a sieve. Now, what I actually did with this sieve was I went ahead and put 32 fortune upgrades in it, because the rate at which you get those saplings, slimes, what is it, slimy? Yeah, is only like 4%. So conceivably you could put 25 of these, which is 100 slime balls through it, and really still not have a great chance of getting one of these saplings. So that's really the only use that I've had for the fortune upgrade, is something like that where you want to get something that's really rare and you don't have a lot of materials to put in it. Most of the rest of the time I just put in speed upgrades, just process materials fast. I mean, like gravel, just make more gravel and push it through there. There's no real reason from my point of view to go with the fortune upgrade for that. But here I did because I didn't want to sift through as many of these slime blocks. Alright, so I don't really know that I have a great deal else to talk about in this episode. I did want to go ahead and get the achievements done and show that I was going to continue advancing in witchery. I'm still expanding on the crafting over here, but we're getting a little closer to applied energistics, so that may be coming up somewhat soon. And really that's about it. Once I get some more progress with blood magic done, I should be able to advance Thaumcraft some more, and maybe Britannia some more. So those are things that are upcoming. I'm gonna have to get more uranium production in because I'm gradually using up some of. I've got lots of plutonium now, 155 of them sitting in that chest, and I've increased my U-235 production a little bit. Haven't really increased the production. I've decreased the usage because but in the process I've increased my usage quite a bit of regular uranium, and I'm getting to the point where I might actually be in danger of running out. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I might implement a bee solution. But really that's all that's going on. So I guess it's probably time to go ahead, and it's a very short episode, but I think we're kind of at the end of it for this one, so I will call it an episode, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.